Hello and good morning, everybody. I haven't been doing many videos recently, as you've noticed. I've done a few here and there, and I got some in the works that I've been working on, but the projects are not done yet, so I figured I'd just give you a little update, give you a video to watch, and give you some teasers for what's going on. We'll chat a little bit. Firstly, got second breakfast for the chickens. Give them a little treat. Made some apple pancakes this morning with apples that I picked off the trees at the farm. Probably got some eggs to pick up, but I don't feel like grabbing them right now. I'm gonna have to walk around holding them as we chat. But the chickens are doing good. Still got 6 of them. Garden, we've gotten a bunch of stuff from the garden. Definitely gonna have to scale up the operation if we're gonna survive off it. But got some corn. Well, the corn I wasn't too happy with. It was very chewy, oddly enough. Tons of tomatoes. There's still a few left in there. I pick off the rotten, split, crappy ones and give them to the chickens. They go nuts over them. Still got a few cabbage hanging out there. A little bit bug-eaten, but still pretty good. Canned, probably 15 or so quarts of tomatoes, and probably about the same in green beans. The green beans are still producing. They're over there. The trellis kind of fell over a bit, but yeah, you can see there's still some beans there. Squash didn't do too well. If you guys are growing squash, let me know. Like this whole back area here, that was all squash, and you see it's just all weeds now. You can't even see the leaves. We ended up losing a lot to bugs. Here's the compost bin. We got a nice tomato growing out of that. But we lost a lot to bugs, so we ended up with, I think, 1 butternut and maybe 4 spaghetti squash that aren't totally ruined. The blueberries are great. We tried putting this net on there, but I kind of already knew it was too big. Birds fly right through it. Now the blueberries are going through it. Gonna have to rework that. So still didn't get any blueberries this year. I pruned them last winter, and they really grew. Like all that's all new growth, and that's really encouraging. All this sucker growth, so all this crap is going to have to get pruned off in the winter. You can tell they're suckers because they're all just growing straight up. You just want to snip all those off. They're a drain on the plant's resources. And here's where we had our chat. Last video, I think it was the last video I made. See how the ladies are doing. Still early in the morning. It's about 9 o'clock, so no. Oh, there's a few. Not much activity at the moment. At this time of year, it's normal to see a bunch of dead bees as the summer workers die. There's a bumblebee that also happened to die there. They also kick the drones out this time of year. The drones are the males. They don't really do anything except for reproduce. But these hives, they're like I said last time, they're really beyond light on resources, so I'm gonna have to and they're really high in mites as well. I've been treating with oxalic acid. I got one more treatment to go, then I'll do another check. Then I think I'm going to condense these 2 boxes into one because so many of the frames just have nothing on them. And I'm going to give the honey supers back. I think that's my plan. So I'll have 1 deep and the honey super, and they can have all that. And I'll put the quilt box on top and maybe some dry sugar on top of newspaper. And that, I think, hopefully that should do it. Got the orchard back here. Everything's growing pretty well. These trees got pruned by some deer recently, and they got some new fresh growth growing already, even though it's fall. And you can see the importance of pruning your fruit trees. I pruned it there last winter, and out sprouts these very long branches. So when you cut it, it promotes growth to the little nubs that are below it, like these little nubs there. That'll go into a branch if I snip it there. So I'll have to do another pruning on all of these really. That pear tree, it's a little floppy. And I had wildflowers growing here. They were mostly gone. And I'm mowing it, but it's tall grass. How do you mow tall grass? Well, I'll show you when we get back to the shop. It's pretty satisfying, and it's, you know, old technology, which is what I like. We're coming up on the shop. Here's the old 350 loader. I brought this up to the shop a couple weeks ago to put all new hoses on it. That worked out well. I love my hose crimper. Real handy thing to have. It was expensive, but I don't know if it probably hasn't paid for itself yet, but it will eventually. But yeah, brand new hoses. I was planning on bringing this one up to the cabin, so I didn't want a hose to blow and leave me, you know, working on the machine instead of working on the property. So this machine is pretty good otherwise. A friend of mine at the farm has been giving me a few fruit trees. This is a real nice apricot. He said you can have them, but you got to make a video about it. So here's part of a video anyway. I think this is an apple, Macintosh apple. And he gave me some more over here. And this again shows you the importance of pruning. Here's a peach. This one here is a peach. And this was just, when he gave it to me, it was just a stick. And then I snipped it there, and I don't exactly remember, but all this you see the green sticks, that's all new growth just this year. So it was, you know, that tall, like a foot tall in one stick in the spring. Now it's about 3 feet tall with a bunch of branches. So again, I can snip these and they'll branch out, and you can choose the ones you want and choose the ones you don't want and just get rid of them. Same deal here. Look at that. That was just a stick, literally that brown stick. That's all this thing was in the spring. So that's the importance of pruning. This one like half died. I don't know why. All these branches, they're doing great, and they just died. And then this sprouted up, you know, July or so, when after this top stuff died. So I'll probably snip it here and see if I can save it. This may have been in the background of some of my videos. I don't know if I ever really mentioned it, but man, is it ever handy to have a truck body or container like this. I had a shitty Harbor Freight tarp shed here for a number of years. It was just garbage. Tarp sheds are shit. You know, the tarp rips and everything. And I don't know, there's a Shelter Logic over there. That's actually pretty good. That's lasted for quite a while. But anyway, I upgraded to this. I matched it to the paint of the house so it blends in nice. I made some doors for it. It's just so efficient to have a nice storage area like this, and all the oil, propane, compressed gases, and parts and pieces. I have my chicken feed over there, so that's not taking up space in the pantry in the house. Waste oil, all that stuff gets stored in here. I think it's a safety thing too. Now it's not, all those flammable things aren't in the garage. In here we got some exciting stuff. Check out the newest project. Got a Kawasaki Mule, model 2510. Picked it up for what I think is a pretty good deal. I mean, it's been around the block a few times. It's got a rusted out John Deere Gator bed on it and a Jeep seat. But 4x4, high-low range, locking diff. It's nice. I like it. Nice tires. The roll bar was all smashed and beat to shit, so I mutilated it into submission, and for some reason there was some alignment and dimensional issues, so just a little piece of pipe worked out pretty good. Made myself a grill guard, and it's real nice now. Just doing a few small things, nothing really video worthy really, that's why I'm just kind of mentioning it here. Just a little fiddly shit. I ripped a bunch of unneeded wires out of the dash, made a new battery hold down instead of a bungee cord. It's probably going to get a new parking brake cables. You can't put it in gear to park it because it's a CVT like this. Welded up some holes in the exhaust, fixed the choke cable. I don't really know how the bracket was supposed to be, but I made a bracket out of some hose clamps. The solenoid, you get about 15 clicks and then one crank, so even though it's a new solenoid, I'm going to replace that. That's a real pain. And I might do something with the bed, put a new bed on it, or make a new bed, or I don't know. It's all rotted through, and of course it's rotted through right above the engine, and the bed's supposed to kind of be the hood for the engine. So this is something that'll eventually probably go up to the cabin, depending on how things go. And here is a new interest of mine. It's how I mowed the orchard. I might do a video on these eventually, but I don't really know anywhere near enough to talk about them anywhere near intelligently. Got some scythes, and I tell you what, I haven't properly sharpened either of these. I don't really have anything dialed in yet, but it's really satisfying using these. And it's really about the same amount of exertion as using a weed whacker, especially once it's really properly sharpened and everything. It's probably comparable to a weed whacker. You gotta stop every 5 minutes with the weed whacker to put new string on, or you stop every 5 minutes to hone the edge. So I got two styles here. That's a European or Austrian style scythe, and this is an American style. Some differences in the care and feeding of them. But I cleaned them all up, and I linseed oiled the handles and everything. Oh, a little tip: if you're messing with these, a lot of these handles are left-hand thread. Not all of them. This is right. Oh boy, this one's right hand. The other one's left hand. So go figure. But if it's not loosening, that might be why. And I just can't keep myself away from these saws. I learned how to sharpen one saw a while ago, and it's just like the scythe. It's really satisfying to use, and properly sharpened, it cuts really easy. It's amazing how quickly you can go through a log just with a handsaw. Like I've always just used, your typical carpenter's crosscut saw like that, or maybe that bow saw next to it, and they work, but they're just a pain in the ass. My arm's always tired, but this was really not too bad. So I've accumulated a pile of tools. Got a saw set, and well, there's a bunch of other crap in there that you'll see in some upcoming videos. So if you're interested in saws and saw sharpening and saw tools, stay tuned. Hit the the subscribe button. Here's a pile more scythe blades that are awaiting some love and care. And again, old stuff here, cabin stuff. Picked this up at the fall zag ratio. Laundry wringer. I just took this apart, cleaned it all up. There's actually ball bearings in there. I greased the ball bearings, and it seems to work pretty well. The only issue is that these rubber rollers have a flat spot on them. So I don't know if these ever need refinishing. I really don't know how to go about that, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And a washboard. This side was not really great. The other side still has that nice like granite ware sort of enamel coating. This side was super rusty. I wire wheeled it, hosed it with oven cleaner, which is really good at eating corrosion but not the base metal. Scrubbed it with the oven cleaner and then cleaned it off, and you know, it's a little tarnished, but it's not rough. It's not going to mess up your clothes if you're using it to clean. And I put some boiled linseed oil on the wood to preserve it. Really soaked it up good. So these are two things that will help us if the time comes. Again, if you watch my last bee video, I chatted a little bit about the things going on, and you know, we're all fucked. So, I don't know. At least I'll have clean clothes for a while. Over here is a saw vise that I made. I haven't even used it yet, but we'll get to that in the saw video whenever I finish that. Here's a Bovard and Seafang piston. I'm still tripping over that. I brought that out here, so I needed to pull the flywheel off it, and I got it started. I made a video about it earlier this year, and partly I didn't finish pulling the flywheel off because I'm busy with other stuff, but partly if something happens and all this stuff needs to move somewhere, it's a lot easier to move this engine as one piece and not as, you know, a crankshaft and a flywheel and another flywheel and a base and all that shit. So this is how it's going to sit for a while. This project's, all my engine projects, all my hobby projects are kind of on hold. I found these really neat containers. They're military surplus, all fiberglass, lockable. They have weather stripping, weather seals on them. So these are going up to camp for just various, you know, storage of various things. Man, those are nice. 75 bucks a piece. And I bought 3 of them. This one had a hole in it. I noticed after I strapped it down, so I called the guy, said, hey, can I swap it out? He comes out with another one. He says, I don't want the one with a hole in it. You want to just take this one too? So I got 4 for the price of 3. So it worked out pretty well. So this will just be regular, just outdoor storage of various things up at the cabin. Here's the front yard. I had wildflowers here too. There's still a few that I didn't mow down yet. Got some daisies. I know those are daisies. I don't know what all this other stuff is. There's some, you know, those pink ones. And I don't know if these are ones I planted or if they just kind of grew up naturally, but they're interesting looking. But I mowed everything else with the scythe since the grass was tall. Again, very satisfying. Oh, and here's the last thing. Also picked this up at the fall show. Well, you don't have electrical power to run your bench grinder, get yourself a Treadle Grindstone. It's really nice. I paid 75 bucks for it. Like, no run out. Look how nice that is. So I'm going to fix it up, clean it up a little bit. This seat, it's about to break through, and you know, they call that a rectum wrecker seat. I have a tractor, an old metal tractor seat I'll put on there, I think, and put a water reservoir on and perhaps some sort of a better work rest. So I'm excited about that. Another fun thing to use and have that just makes you slow down a little bit. Oh, but I think that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Most excited about this, really. I think you guys would be excited to see this too. So, I wish there was something more video worthy about it. Maybe I'll be fabricating a bed. I might make a video about that if you want to see it. But really, it just needs fiddling. with. There's real no big projects about it, and that's why I'm happy I got it. I don't really want a project. I paid $1,700 for this. Running, driving, brakes work. It's just kind of has a few like little bullshit issues. I see others, you know, mules, rangers, gators for like $3 to $5 grand that look a lot nicer. They're a lot newer, but you know, blown engine, blown transmission, you know, whatever. So for what it is and for the price, I think I did pretty good. I'm going to put some lights on it too. I've got the wires for it already. So I think that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Hope this update gave you something to watch and enjoy for a little while. So thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with videos I'll be coming out with. Got more cabin videos coming up too. We got to make it up there again pretty soon. And hit the like button. I know you liked this. And see you later. Thanks for watching.